going to be making my homemade salsa and fresh jam for my kids. They go through that like crazy. I've even had their friends and stuff ask to try some, and with their parents' permission, of course. And everybody loved it, and they're like, how do you make that? So I figured I would share my salsa. It's just a real quick, I mean, these are just natural ingredients. These are store-bought tomatoes from Aldi, and the cilantro is from my backyard. That's sort of growing. I'm doing tomatoes from the store due to the fact that it is not summer. My tomatoes are not here yet. I do try to freeze tomatoes and use them for salsa later, but we ran out already. So I am going to just chop up, which I've already pre-washed these so it was ready for when I came live. I was actually trying to be organized today. So if anyone is in the comments or chats, I'm not looking, I have a knife. I don't want to chop my fingers off. So I like to chop these up. And this is cilantro. So this gives you some amazing flavor when making salsa. And usually I would use Romana or Romana, whatever type of tomatoes you guys want to say it, tomato. But they didn't have any that, I mean, they had some, but they just didn't smell like, you know what I mean, more fresh on the vine type tomatoes. So I did not get them. I don't like tomatoes that taste like water. I really hate buying tomatoes from the store due to the fact that they don't have that full flavor, and I have decided that I'm going to be growing a tomato tree in my house year round. I feel like if I had the lights, maybe I could have a pot that will grow them year round in my house. That would be fantastic. But I don't know how well that works. Okay. So I've chopped up the cilantro. Going to go ahead and put that in there. I was going to do it last, but I already set it on my cutting board. Tomatoes. Like I said, these are not for my garden. I don't live in a warmer climate. So I'm gonna make them a little bit thinner. I don't put those in there. And my chickens will eat the leftovers of, or I have minus the onions. They can't do the onions. They're not very good for chickens. So this is a big request from the husband and them. I'm not adding jalapenos in it due to the fact, but you can add jalapenos, but my kids don't like them, and I am not allowed to eat them. I like spicy, but unfortunately I was given direct orders from my doctor that I can no longer have. I have an ulcer, so I'm not allowed to have any spice anymore. So fun stuff. So he usually adds his afterwards, but you can easily add. I am making salsa and homemade jam. And literally my kids will go through a huge jar of homemade jam. It's actually my grandfather's recipe. He actually is the person that invented the Latham berries, but when he passed, apparently, one of his, he's my great-grandpa actually, just got rid of it because they didn't want to deal with it anymore. So, and I was kind of upset about that, but you can buy the Latham berry, blackberry. I saw them at Costco and I almost cried because it's like, those were my grandpa's. He invented that thornless blackberry that's like super sweet and gigantic. But I do have some of those anyways. So those will go to the chickens. But I pretty much, it's real simple to make salsa, and fresh salsa that tastes really, really good. Oh, sorry. Hi, here's me. I'm cooking. Sorry about that. I was just trying to, I am cooking, so I was trying to let everybody see what I was making. That, and I'm not trying to look at the camera because I don't want to chop my fingers off. I have ADHD and I easily get distracted. So But yeah, it's just tomatoes, onion, cilantro, garlic, lemon, and salt. It's pretty much all I add in my, and you can add jalapenos or something else if you want it spicy, but I found if you get some very strong onions, it can also make it a little bit, or give it a little bit of a kick. So, my husband prefers the jalapenos in there, but we cannot add it if anybody else, like myself, wants to eat it. I'm not allowed to have them right now. You were not here? I had like a ulcer and then something else, so I'm supposed to be avoiding all serious spice. So, fun. And I'm not allowed to have any lemon juice either, or lemonade, which I love lemonade, but no lemonade either. Okay. But yeah, I just find if you chop them up in little squares, or you know what I mean, like little lines, and then I can't wait till my tomatoes are actually growing instead of buying store-bought, because there is a mad difference between store-bought tomatoes and fresh tomatoes. Store-bought tomatoes kind of taste like water. Unless you can get them on the vine, then they're a lot better. And salsa is actually really, really healthy for you. For all people that do like salsa but they hate tomatoes, tomatoes are like a superfood. They're very good at helping prevent like colon cancer, in case people did not know that. Colon cancer and pancreatic cancer. They're very high in antioxidants, and they're very beneficial to your health. But a lot of people just don't like it unless it's like tomato sauce or something. Or ketchup maybe. I think that's the other one that people like. Although store-bought ketchup kind of... I try to avoid as much like processed food as possible. I make my own bread. Those are frozen berries that I know are organic that I get over at Costco. And super simple. You don't have to add any chemicals. You just do berries, sugar, and lemon juice. That's it. You let it cool, usually overnight, like on the counter, and it will thicken up, and then you put it in the fridge and you have the most delicious jam you probably ever had. Usually better, way better than the stores. And you don't have, like I said, they put a lot of preservatives in it. And half of the preservatives, which y'all can go look up, that they put in food, soups, cereals, and stuff to make them last, that they changed, I believe it was, I think it said it was in 2007, is paint thinner. Don't believe me? Go look it up. It is paint thinner. Also why I stopped buying store bread, due to the fact that I found out store bread that you buy, the something, it's human hair. That's how they make it soft. It's like a softener they put in your food. It is human hair and duck hair. Not joking. So unless you go to a fresh local bakery and ask them, like, hey, do you use this weird softener? Which a lot of them don't. It won't have human hair in it. And that is actually proven. But yeah, they keep saying, oh, but the preservative amount is so less. Yeah, but the difference is they add it into all of our food. It's in our cereal. It's in your canned soups. It's in your deli meat. It's in literally any type of chips, anything. And when I found that out, and there was just like people around me that had no family history of cancer or anything else like that. People were getting all these weird cancers, and their kids too. And I was like, what the heck is going on? This is like a big increase. So I started, and I used to be in healthcare, so for, like 17 years. I was in infection control and all kinds of different, I did work in hospice for a very long time. So I've seen a lot of people with cancers and stuff. And it was usually older people. Now it's like very common for, and I'm seeing a lot of people that I know that their kids are getting cancer, like just left and right. Colon cancer has skyrocketed amongst children. And they are linking that to a lot of the preservatives, which it does say that actually. when you look up that preservative, and then if you look up what the ingredient does and what it causes, colon cancer is actually one of them, as well as other type of cancers, as well as the food dyes and stuff like that. I don't understand why when sometimes they say, oh, this is natural, all natural food coloring. It's a red bug they usually crunch up and dry it out, and they color the food that way, and that makes me so gross. Yeah, but I don't understand why people don't use beets. Beets, have any of you guys, when you guys were a kid, put a beet on your mouth, right? It like stained your face red. Blueberries, blackberries. Everybody is always like, don't get that on the carpet. Don't get that. You know what I mean? Because it stains. These are things, and one, those are good for you. Like beets are like super good for you, and they could just use them. They're heart healthy, like super good for people that have high blood pressure and stuff like that to help reduce it. But like if they just use beets, you're getting an extra vitamin and you're coloring your food naturally. I don't know why they don't do that, and I really think that they should. So, yes, this is my ADHD channel, but I also, because this is the daily ADHD grind, it's not just cleaning and tasks. I've done a lot of that because I'm trying to bulk up on the video content that I have, since I just had this channel, I was just randomly posting things for like family and friends, and then I was like, I should make this a real channel. So I've been bulking up on different videos to get them onto my YouTube channel, but as well as I do, it's just daily life, so crafts, goal setting, mindset, stuff like that. And you don't have to have ADHD. This is just basically more of a simplified way to do things, you know, like hacks and tricks and how to reverse engineer goals for people that don't know how to break them down. I actually was a software engineer. I just left my company recently. If you are new here, I did AI for over 2 years. So, and a lot of cloud development and stuff like that. But I left because I just got tired of doing the 70, 80 hours of work and having children and missing out on life. So I stopped, and I decided I was going to help other people do their thing. And so far I'm not, I started in January really trying to do stuff on this channel, and I went from like, I think 100 and something followers that I had for like whatever years, like family, friends, to I just hit over 1,600 subscribers recently, and then it said I hit 2,000 watch time hours as well, which is pretty cool. I forgot I'm gonna get my apron. Sorry. I'm not trying to, I'm very, very short, people. Very, very short. There. And I'm trying to multitask all at the same time. I don't want to get this dirty. We have to go. My son has soccer practice at 6, so I still have to make, also have to make dinner. But I have posted up my milk bread recipe. That bread will stay 3 hours. That's the rise, set, bake, and everything in 3 hours. It is so soft, like store white bread. Super easy, and it's not dense. Like when people make homemade bread or sourdough bread, it's like super dense and it's hard to get through. No. And then I've also noticed if you add a little bit of like coarse salt to it, it kind of, so what do I do on my free time? Usually I code. Besides gardening, I have chickens out back. And no, I do not have a lot of land. Our lot is, I think, 12,000 square foot. So just about a little bit over a quarter acre. That's just about the size of my neighborhood. I have 7 chickens in the back. I was getting 5 more chicks because they were winter layers. No, I don't eat the chickens, just the eggs. And there's no roosters, so there's no babies in the eggs. Just getting that out there. They're also our pets. They're very well protected. But yeah, I do have a lot of a garden. I craft, I code. I'm working on an app now on my own, building a smart AI, as I call it, that will not take over the world. Since I worked in AI for a long time, I do know what it's capable of. So I tend to not want to do that, but I do want something that is useful, both medically and productively without, oh my gosh, the onions. Woo! These are very, very strong onions. And if you guys see me crying, it's not just because I'm very corny, and I was going to say not because you guys are bringing tears to my eyes that you're here, but, you know, oh my gosh. I hate onions. I know that there's a trick. I think someone said to put a wet paper towel over them, but then I can't see the onion. Oh my gosh. Oh. Maybe, oh my goodness. Sorry, you guys. I don't even have my mic on. This is insane. Okay. I hate that. This is the part that I hate the most about making salsa. Because I can't ever see, and I am blind, and I'm always, I have a thingy that chops them, but they don't come out. Like I think the pieces are all random, and I don't like that. I don't want like a huge chunk of onion in my salsa. You know what I mean? When you go to bite it, like a massive big piece. No, thank you. But yeah, so cilantro, there's the tomatoes, onions. I'm gonna use all, man, I gotta get through all these onions. My husband is lucky that I love him. I hate chopping onions. Now my nose is starting to run. He will eat all the salsa in like less than a week. We already have homemade corn tortilla chips, so I'll do those too. And I tend to use the air fryer that's right there. That thing that kind of looks like a microwave is actually probably the best air fryer I've ever met in my life. Met in my life like it's a person, but anywho, no, because it does like rotisserie and stuff. I love that thing. I got it for Christmas because I kept seeing people use it, and I was like, but is that one really good? And then it was like, it rotisseries it, and it dehydrates. It does like 20 things. I know, people are like, what do you do on your free time? I am so busy all the flipping time, and everyone's like, don't you ever take a break? And I'm like, I wish. I have ADHD, like, and like a severe case of it, so I'm always I have a hard time sitting still, and it's 100 times worse when I don't take my medication, because I'm all over the place with squirrel syndrome, as like the non-ADHDers like to say it. I'm trying to stay on topic. That's a big part, because the brain, you know, too many thoughts. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I should use a wet paper towel. Like, how does that work? Does anyone know? If that, you guys, I'm gonna, woohoo. I wonder, here, got you. Someone said to put a wet paper towel. I don't know if you guys can hear the chicks in the background or not. I have chicks in my house with cats, but they're safe because they're inside like this really thick rabbit hutch, so they can't get, the cats can't get in. But I gave them some blackberries a second ago, and the chicks are, oh my goodness. I have to pull my face away because I'm hoping that these don't, that's not enough. My husband likes like 20 huge onions in there. I'm not even lying to you. Oh my goodness. Okay, and if you guys want it spicy, add jalapenos or something, but these onions that we get here are really, really spicy. I forget which ones these are. They're not this sweet. What are these? Just these white, I don't know, for some reason, these ones are like super hot for some reason. I like hot. I'm not allowed to have them. I'm not onions, but I'm not allowed to have jalapenos right now. Doctor's orders. Apparently you can drink too much lemonade. Because I used to drink grapefruit juice too, because I like it. And apparently that's really bad. Not only does it cause kidney stones, and I was like, I thought you use it to get rid of kidney stones. But it can actually cause kidney stones, but it also causes ulcers in your stomach, just like lemonade. So I'm not allowed to have lemonade. I'm not allowed to have any spice right now. He said probably ever. I don't know. But it's literally just from drinking. I used to make homemade. Oh my gosh, my eyeballs. Goodness. We don't drink pop in this house or nothing. Like special occasions, but I don't buy it because I don't want my kids doing it. They tend to just drink water or fruit water and milk. Oh my gosh. My eyeballs, you guys. I'm dying here. Not dying, like. If people are looking, that is not blood. If you just popped in, that's tomato juice or tomatoes. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to wipe my eyeballs. The onions, people. The onions are so bad. Oh, anyone have any tips how to make your eyes not cry during cutting onions? Please let me know in the comments. Because I still have like more of these to go through. And I'm trying not to cry as much as possible. I'm also trying to stay back, hoping that this helps from not hitting me in the eyeballs. How come when we watch cooking shows, you guys ever watch cooking shows, and they're chopping up the onions like a champ, and they're like, and da 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 da, like, what are they doing to make their onions not like cut their eyeballs, or do they just like have somebody else cutting it and they pretend that it's them? You know what I'm saying? Like on the Cooking Network, and they're chopping the onions. You don't ever see their eyes watery or nothing. Like, what did you do? Did they put Vaseline in their eyeballs? Like, what? How do you keep the onions from burning your eyes? Someone told me that other people are more susceptible to onion, but listen, my cat was in here over there on the floor, and I think it got to him too. I saw him blinking his eyeballs, and he was going like this back and forth, and then he left, and I'm like, man, these are like way stronger than normal. Usually I can cut these, and these aren't that bad. Oh my gosh, that means these are gonna be hot. Okay, how much of that do I got now? No, he likes it even. He likes it even. And see, that's how you know you love your husband, when you cut the things that bug you the most, like onions. Oh look, my kid's home from school. You guys probably can't see the bus out there. You'll probably see it after it leaves, but there she is. That one was a weird outside peel. Yep. So prepare your ears. The dogs are going to start barking because my daughter's home. Oh my gosh. Real time. See? Oh, there's the little dog. Oh my gosh. What? The onions. They're killing my eyeballs. These people probably... See, look. My eyes, they're so bad. I don't know how to make them stop running, you guys. Help. Somebody. Anyone know how to get the... Look, I went from looking really nice to now my eyes are all poofy and red from the onions. This is like legit a punishment. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Why? I'm a dork, people, by the way. But anywho, okay. I wish I could speed this up, like if I was actually filming doing this. I have tears running down my face right now. Okay, I could chat this up. Okay, I don't know how to sing sometimes. My daughter can sing. I should make her sing first in the background. I'm just kidding. I wish we could play music during our lives. Right? What? No. Excuse you. There we go. I'm sorry. We don't. There we go. Hey, sorry. This is a family thing, so you have to be out of here. We can't do stuff like that. I apologize, but sorry. Hi, Angie. Hi. Sorry, guys. I had someone in there asking This is a family channel, dang it. And I had some guy in the comments asking for feet pics. Like, geez, we're cooking here, man. Like, that's good. Oh, Lily, I did not see you. My daughter just came in and I didn't see her behind me. Nothing. Nothing. That's too little for your ears. Some weird people like stinky, smelly feet. They like to show their dogs stinky feet. So that way the dogs don't eat their shoes. I didn't see her. Anyways, making salsa and more jam for you guys. As my daughter is digging into the fridge.
What are you making?
Salsa. Daddy gets to come back tonight from
Can you also make some?
making jam too and chicken for dinner.
Can you also make guacamole if we have?
We don't have any avocados. I would have made guacamole. See all the requests that come in my household? Can you make guacamole? I forgot to get avocados when I went to the store, kiddo. I cannot wait till summer and my tomatoes are growing. Oh, you guys, look at my eyes. I got on here looking all nice. No, I'm poofy cry eyes, and now they're just looks like I've been crying, telling a horrible, sad story of what happened. I do have those, but I'm not doing it on my cooking channel. It's not a cook and cry with. It is a cook and cry with me right now because of the onions. My goodness. Okay, these I'm not putting in there. These are gonna go into the trash because they feel. Not that my counter was dirty or anything. I did just wash it, but I'm not. I still don't. Okay. Oh, sorry. I bang things. All right. Now, key ingredients. Sorry, that was my tissue for, and this is homemade garlic too, that I've cut up from my garlic cloves. I'm gonna grab a spoon. You guys, I don't particularly measure them. I just kind of go by. Okay. Apparently I don't have any muscles. I'm doing things all day. It's filming for a different video. And then I had a class and then some other stuff. So I'm doing about a full spoon of diced. Sorry, the dog. She probably saw a squirrel. Garlic, thank you. I did about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onions and then 4 huge tomatoes and about that much chopped cilantro. Okay. I'm going to add lemon juice. I don't have any fresh lemons. They had very tiny ones at the store and they were... Lily, can you let Nova outside, please? I'll take you guys with me for 2 seconds. So, woo! What happened? My goodness. Are you guys still there? Are you guys still there? Let her outside, please.
Okay.
Let Nova outside. Sorry, guys. You guys just spun around. I accidentally hit the button on my stand. Let Nova outside, please. Thank you. Sorry. We've been doing a decluttering challenge, so I have boxes full of stuff that's being donated. Anyways. Oh, my bowl. 1,000 items. I get rid of 1,000 items in my house. Okay. So this, I think it's about a 1/4 cup is what I do in almond juice. But we're going to start there. And then I have to mix. I'll do the salt after. Do you guys make fresh salsa? And you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually, not yet. I'm going to be doing a couple of courses.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Who the heck is it? I think it was my flag. Keeps setting off that dang ring doorbell. But, oh, I lost what I was saying. Oh yeah, you can freeze salsa, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but you can freeze it. I wouldn't freeze a ton like this. I mean, well, I would do them in individual, like small bags that you can eat in like a day or two, or you can dehydrate it as well. And then it makes a really good seasoning, actually. If you dehydrate the mix, because then when you add water to it, it plumps back up. I would love one of those. Lily, I'm on the live. You have to turn that off.
What?
You have to turn that off. I'm on YouTube live. You cannot have that on. Nothing in the background. Sorry. My daughter's on there watching YouTube. I was like, no. Anyways. So we're getting all this nice and mixed up. If I can get the cilantro to come up, you can't even see. Where is it? Oh, there it is. See it? It's starting to get mixed up. I missed it. That's why you have to make sure that I probably should use a bigger spoon, but I was trying to do less dishes. Just washed a bunch of dishes. I use so many dishes in this house. Maybe it needs more. No, the cilantro is up over here. But the cilantro, like, especially overnight, all these flavors will tie in together. And see, I know it doesn't look like it's super, like, a lot of juice in it. It will. You just keep adding. And as you're mixing it, and especially once you add the salt, for some reason, like the salt, see, like, you're starting to get a lot of juice from the tomatoes, a little bit from that lemon juice, and then you have the garlic. And then you'll add some, there we are, there's that cilantro. I was like, what the heck? I mean, if you want to, like I said, add jalapenos, totally. I just keep repeating this because we're live and there's people that came in, even though I'm just gonna keep this up on my channel as I'm dropping stuff. That I can probably put back in because it's on the clean cutting board that I just re-rinsed off. Like I said, I haven't added salt yet. And I will get a separate spoon and a chip for tasting it. But there you go. So can you guys see that? So there's, I was gonna do this like a vertical way. I almost dumped all that juice out, but there we go. You can add jalapenos, no jalapenos. There's also a way to do this with mangoes. So instead of tomato, you could do like mangoes and peaches and onions and cilantro and a little bit of like honey. That's pretty good too. And then jalapenos too if you want it spicy. Which I do make my kids a mango salsa. I tend to just use the chopped frozen, or if it's in season, the mangoes, then I'll get those and make a mango salsa. You could add corn into this too, if you wanted like a corn salsa. Just depends on your mood. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the, here we go. I wish that would go down more. There, now you guys can see it. Salt, I'm just gonna sprinkle tomatoes suck up a lot of the salt. And then I'm gonna try to mix all that up before I add any more, and that's after. Dang, I'm making a mess. Look at me spilling all this salsa. Like literally my husband will have this all gone within a week. Like it's like one of his favorite snacks, and it's healthy. It's not really that really wasn't that much salt. But the cilantro really does give it a really good flavor. You could add bell peppers too. I've done that too. Just depends on like what you like in your salsa, but it's a basic traditional salsa. Some people add cumin to it. You could do that too if you want a little bit of cumin. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a separate spoon to taste it, because I don't like using the same spoon because your saliva can, like, you know, put bacteria into it. So, new clean spoon. And as you saw, I didn't really put that much salt in it. Okay, sprinkled over the top. Usually chips have more. We're gonna do about that much more. because you'll let this, you can eat it right then too. You can add more, like salt to taste, you know what I mean? Like how much you like. Just remember that a lot of tortilla chips already have salt on them. But if you don't or can't have a lot of salt, you don't need to put salt. Or I think you can use probably, if you guys use Mrs. Dash, the salt alternative, like the seasoning, you could probably do a little bit. I would just do a tiny bit at first just to see, to make sure it doesn't change the flavor of your salsa. I hope you guys can hear me okay. My mic had died, so I don't have it. Okay. I'm going to not dip this in there because I already put my mouth on it. Just going to put it like that. That's really good. Okay. So that is the salsa. This is going to go in my compost. And I'm going to start on the... I have chips too, so we're going to pick... My windows are open. I think I just heard a bee. Probably just a fly, but... So there's that. I have a lid for that. If you don't have one of these, this thing is fabulous. I bought, I think it was Pampered Chef, right? Like one of my neighbors, she used to do this. I bought this thing like 10 years ago. Love this thing. I don't have a link. I'm like, I don't have a link. So this is going to go into my fridge, and then I'm going to start the jam. There's that, which I'm going to separate that later. So now I'm going to put these into the sink because they need to be rinsed off. If you have garlic cloves at home that you bought and you thought they were probably gone because they like kind of dried out, if you peel off the outer layer, put them all into a cup of water, like just a little cup with just a little bit, just covering the bottom. Leave them there for like 4 or 5 days. They'll start sprouting because you've like broken apart, right? That gives you 12. One garlic clove gives you anywhere from like 12 to 14 whole new garlics, and you can just plant those in-house or outside, wherever. It doesn't matter. They're not finicky about growing, like too much rain or anything like that. And then you'll have a whole bunch more garlic. So I usually will go get garlic clove. Well, originally I'll get one, and then I'll grow a bunch, and then I will have tons of garlic. Because you get like just a big bag of full garlic cloves. And that's what I do. And then I chop them up and I put them in my fridge. And I have minced garlic. Which this will go back. I am going to keep the lemon juice out. Lily, can you let Lucy back in, please? Lily?
What?
Let the dog back in, please. I can hear her whining. Okay. So, when you're making jam, so I bought frozen, you can do fresh too. Fresh berries that are not frozen will get very smushy very, very quick. Oh, that dog, I'm telling you. Very, very quickly. And you don't have to cook it as long, but it can burn quicker because of the sugar. So if you do have fresh berries, you can freeze them for a couple hours before. For some reason that helps. I don't know why. But we're going to be doing a blueberry. So these are wild blueberries. No preservatives, nothing, just real natural. I got these at Costco. I think these were like on sale for like $6.88 for this huge bag. We make smoothies and stuff out of these for the kids with bananas. So I guess it's equal to like a big jar, and I will show you. I made this about a week and a half ago, and it was to the top. And basically it was equal to about 1.5 pints of berries. but I'm going to make a double batch because you can freeze them. And if you want to make it last longer, you can add pectin, but that will also make it more like jelly versus jam, you know, like the stuff, which I have pectin too, but I tend to not. But the kids go through this like it's insane. It does use a lot of sugar though. That is mainly what jam and jelly is. So, but I am going to do a double batch. So I have about that many. I usually just do the mixed berries, but I don't know that I have enough for a double batch. So I have that many blueberries. And then this is my 3-berry Kirkland Costco. It is raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. Last time I added fresh strawberries to it. I do not have any fresh strawberries. And I'm most likely just going to use the rest of what's in this bag, but it was not full. It equals out to about, I mean, this is what, a 5-quart? It's about that much frozen berries. Ooh, good thing I didn't drop that. So this is gone. This is still, I mean, and I didn't use a lot of that right now. Like I said, we've had this for a couple of months now. We get a lot of the frozen berries because they're good. And especially during like season, if you cut them up and then you freeze them, fantastic. So I already put, see, I prepared myself today. So since this is a double batch, 1 pint and a quarter, most of the recipes for jam is 2 cups of sugar. But since this is more than, this is a double, I'm probably only going to do about 2.5 because I mean, that's still a lot of sugar, but I don't think my kids need that much sugar. And because the berries are the wild, they're kind of sweet on their own, but we'll see after the 2 cups. So what you do is I just hold it over in case I spill, because I told you people I am short. I'm 5'1", and I usually do the cane sugar. I'm out of cane sugar, and I asked my husband to get sugar, and this is what he bought me before he left. And I was like, well, it's not even up to the full. But that's 2 cups for that. And then you just put lemon juice. I will get the measuring cup. It's usually just a couple tablespoons. Why are people touching it? I was like, somebody undid my measuring. I would say about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And I know, and I was like, why are you using lemon juice? Well, lemon juice. Such right there. And then I'm going to turn my stove, because you don't want to burn the sugar or the berries. You're going to want to keep it just, depending on your stove. Mine, it was new when we got it, but it can, sometimes medium is like medium high for some reason, I don't know. But I put mine just below medium at first, and then you just keep mixing it. So probably about 30 minutes maybe, and then you're just gonna let it cool. But you can taste it. Don't blow on it first so you don't burn your mouth, right, when you're tasting the jam. And I'm not gonna use the spatula. Could. Actually, I probably should. I will use this is just to mix it up. But I'm going to mix it in there because you want the sugar to not burn, and make your jam. And that's pretty much it. You just leave it out. And like, I know it's ant season right now. And people are like, I don't want to leave jam out on my stovetop or whatever. You can let it cool at least until right before you go to bed. And if you want to, you can just hear my dog growling. What? There's a squirrel out back, and she really wants to get it. We're not doing that. But that's a puppy. She's just big. She's a Great Pyrenees. Polar bear dogs. But anywho. Yeah, pretty much you just let it melt. Don't burn it, and then you just kind of squish it up. and then you let it cool, and then you can put it into like another jelly jar or a regular Tupperware container, or you can let it fully cool in the fridge and then put it into a bag that you can freeze, either a Ziploc freezer bag, or if you have, um, I have one. What is it called? The one that sucks the air out, right? Put it in one of those, and then you can put it in your freezer, and you just thaw it out and then use it. And because I kept thinking, I'm not going to be able to use that with me. Oh yeah, because the kids were even asking for it for like dessert. They're like, can I just get the jam on some toast or on a piece of bread like after dinner? And I was like, sure. But it's so good, and it by far tastes better than store-bought, and you're not using all that crap that they put in there. And not as near as much sugar. Like I did like the 2, or not even full 2 cups, and this is probably 2.5 pints, easy, maybe 3 pints, and a little bit of lemon juice. It will taste better than store-bought. No yucky preservatives, and you're not using like their fruit corn syrup, I think, that they mix in there, plus they use sugar. But yeah, fresh or frozen. I mean, I guess you could just use fresh, so that it won't take that long. But yeah, it's fairly simple how to make that. I wish I could like pause this and then come back like, here's the end, right? But I said I would do this on live the next time I made my jam. So I'm mixing it at first because, like I said, I don't want the sugar to burn. It's a live cooking show. At least my eyes aren't as poofy from the onions. Like they were a minute ago. I was like crying my eyeballs out. And also when you use like the frozen berries versus the fresh, it helps with keeping the sugar from burning right away. Like it slowly melts and then it covers them. But it's just don't put it on high. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can turn on high. People end up burning their jam that way, and it really will not taste good. Like, I mean, it kind of tastes like crystallized burnt candy. You know what I mean? Sometimes. But this is pretty much all my great-grandpa used to do, and he used to sell his jam a long time ago, and everybody came around everywhere, and then they all wanted his blackberry bush. And you can do it with anything, especially during like spring. It's almost strawberry season. Strawberries should be really cheap. You can do it with those too. And I always feel like frozen berries and fruits are way cheaper than fresh sometimes. Sometimes they're not, but like sometimes they are, and it helps. And you can do all types. It doesn't have to just be berry. You could do marmalade this way. Same thing. You could do oranges. You could do peach. You could do whatever type of fruit. Now, I have not tried banana. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I would have assumed they would probably turn brown, but the lemon juice might help. I don't know. I've never had a banana jam. Has anyone had a banana jam? I haven't. Like, I mean, that's not what I'm making. It just popped in here. But I don't know if they make a banana jam. I'm going to have to go Google that. Or if any of you guys know if they make like a banana jelly or banana jam that's not like artificial flavors, you know? I want to know. Lily, why is she growling? My dog. I think it's got... Lily, does she went outside? Lily Marie? She must be barking at Lucy. Lucy probably still has her bone and hasn't eaten it yet, and she wants it. My dogs are such butts to each other. Like the one, she's a puppy, the one with the really dark, deep bark. She's the Great Pyrenees, but she's 6.5, 7 months old, something like that. My other dog is like another mutt that we got from I always say mutts are the best dogs. I only have her as a purebred because she's a rescue, but she's old. She's like 14, and she will take her, like the milk bones or whatever, and she will hide it in her cage with, like, in her crate. I say cage, crate, but like that thing is not ever locked. She just goes in there, and my Pyrenees will inhale her treats, and then she'll just sit there and wait till the one that's barking now, growling now, is done, and she'll just lick it real slowly and not even eat it. Like and then she'll even go next to her and like do it. I'm like, girl, stop terrorizing that big dog. That big dog, she wants that treat so bad. She just growls at her like, hurry up and eat it or give it to me type thing. And the other one just sits there and licks it and looks like it's kind of a jerk move. Lily, what is she doing? She's still growling. Who is she growling at? Are you not growling at a bunny? Oh, she's growling at the bunny. I forgot when I was filming. I use this behind my camera as a person. Nova, are you barking at the rabbit? Get you. Sorry, people. That was funny. I was like, why is she growling? I thought the other one had... I did just give them a treat, so I thought that's what was happening. I forgot. She's terrified. Oh, I have to get back to my stove before I burn my jelly. Stop barking at that rabbit. Sorry, people. That was a side note. Side note, but it was funny. I was like, wait a minute. That was funny. Side note. It was like that old Easter decoration. She's still going to continue to growl at it. I forgot. She doesn't like that thing. She doesn't like any statues or nothing. It's funny. Lily, let Nova outside, please. I thought she was barking because the other dog had a treat. Because she does that same thing, but then it's that. Lily, don't let her eat my decorations, though, okay? Thank you. I have those are like really cute vintage like looking bunny rabbits, and my dog doesn't like it. Oh, it's still melting, people. It's still going. I told you about 15-30 minutes. I apparently did not think this, but we're getting there. You see how it's starting? You don't want a full-on boil. You just want it to, I mean, you can once the sugar is melted. I just don't want it to burn. But it will be so good. And then once it's like good and melted, you can kind of squish it down a little bit and like break up the rest of the, or leave them whole depending on you. But I like to like squish them, not fully like mashed like jelly, but like, you know, jam where you got little tiny pieces of the berries. And then, man, I tell you what, it is definitely a good winner. So look at me multitasking on here. Made some salsa, got some homemade jam done. Oh, look, she's deciding to eat her breakfast. My older dog taught her a nasty habit because off and on I put in wet food in with their dry food. You know, because I would hate eating the same thing over and over again, right? So we give them a little bit of like wet, like of dog appropriate stuff, you know what I mean? Or sometimes if we make ham or something, I'll give them a little bit, but not too much so they don't get sick. She taught her, because my little old lady dog will refuse to eat her food unless I add wet food. I'm like, I told the vet, and he's like, don't give it to her. You're gonna make it where that's the only thing that you can give her, right? And he wanted her to eat a lot more crunchier, like hard food, because she's an old dog. Little dogs' teeth are bad, even though we were like cleaning them and stuff. He's like, no, it's just how these dogs are. They always, that's why you always see these funny like ugly dog pictures and their tongues are hanging out, because most of them have lost their teeth because they break and they just have bad teeth genes, whatever. She won't eat it, and she will starve herself for like 3 days before she gives in. And I'm like, girl, you have to eat your food. You have to eat your food. She just will not. She'll look at it and like sniff her little nose up in the air, and she takes off. Well, she taught this one that. This one has had her bowl full of food since 6 o'clock in the morning, barking for it, and is not wanting to touch it. But she gave in and is like, excuse me, I need to eat. But she eats 8 cups a day. Sometimes I can trick her by just adding a little tiny bit of warm water, and I'll mix it up, and then she'll eat it, thinking I added something extra, which is crazy sauce. But these dogs eat 8 cups of dog food a day. The other one, she eats about a 4th cup twice a day if I added wet food to it every day. And yes, they get treats, but I try not to give her too many so she eats her food. But You know, she's an old little spoiled thing that has the very high pitch bark. Yay, we're almost there. We're almost there. The white part of, or the milky part, which see the foamy bubble parts right there. So that's the unmelted sugar. And then the darker parts is where the berries are mixing into the jam. Like I said, I turned it down a little bit lower than normal. I might turn this up just a little bit. Just because I'm standing directly over this mixing it, so it does not burn on the bottom. Just like milk burns very, very quickly. If you ever, I don't know, I know that's not jam, but like I do milk, like when you're making, I'll make homemade cottage cheese and stuff, and you have to be very, very careful on making cottage cheese, sour cream, stuff like that, when you're cooking it, to separate like the whey from the curds. And you have to be very careful. That's the difference between like ricotta and some types of cheese and cottage cheese. If you get it too hot, you'll burn that milk, or the curds anyways. And then you just add, some people say add lemon juice, right? If you don't like the taste of vinegar for separating for cottage cheese. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't taste it. I don't like the taste of vinegar, but you can't taste the vinegar when you add the vinegar to the milk when you're doing cottage cheese. But you can taste the lemon, and I do mean like it is very lemony. And Leslie, I was like, nope, I prefer the. And a lot of people are like, ew, I don't want vinegar. It doesn't taste like vinegar. It just separates the curds from the whey. And for all of you people that like eating or add whey protein to your diets anyways for working out and stuff, there's a good way to get free whey. Is if you ever make homemade cottage cheese, it literally takes like 5 minutes of cooking time, and then like 30 minutes of it sitting with a little bit of vinegar in it, and then it separates. But you'll have a huge pot of whey, and you can add that to broth and soups, or add it to a shake, and it gives you like extra whey. But this is almost done, people. It's almost done. I did turn the heat up on this. Not cottage cheese if you just jumped in. This is homemade jam. I don't like boiling it. I think boiling it ruins it, so you just gotta come in here. So anyone that's rewatching this video, it's because I was live. But yes, this is this famous jam I make that like my kids' teachers ask for. I always give them a jar of jam that I've made. People in the family like it. Kids think it's a dessert, and it really doesn't have as much sugar as most jams, but you cannot tell. You can do this too if you're diabetic and you cannot have sugar. Just don't add the sugar. Literally, if you just do the berries and a little bit and like lemon juice, just keep watching it and turning it and mix it up, and then you have yourself a natural sugar-free homemade jam. So it's the same thing. Like I said, I don't add as much sugar as any of the store stuff for what, I guess this was technically, I kept saying 2.5, but it's probably 3 pints of berries that I used. I did 2 cups of sugar, actually a little under 2 cups because they weren't full to the top. But, and then lemon juice, which helps bring out the flavor of the berries. A store, per 1 pint of berries, they use 2 cups of sugar in the jam. Like, I think that's insane. Hey, Lily, can you please let Lucy back in? These dogs. In, out, all day. Does anyone, and it's mainly that little dog that does that. Nova will stay, doesn't like to come back in, but it's getting warmer, and she's got a triple coat, so. But if she thinks there's an animal. I would be letting my chickens out right now. They have a big, huge run that they're in next to their thing, but we have an osprey that is got her eye on my chickens. An osprey kind of looks like a bald eagle. If you don't know, they're just about as big. Dang ospreys and bald eagles. I saw one of those a couple weeks ago, and I was like, please do not. My son was like, Mom, there's a bald eagle in the backyard. And I went to grab my phone, and the dang thing flew off, but it was staring at my chickens. I was like, please don't eat my chickens. And I was like, how do I scare it away without, you know what I mean? Like, don't come back. But the problem is that osprey has been like low key flying over my house daily. I was out there with him and he flew over. Actually, the live I had yesterday. Yeah, it was on live. If you look at my live from yesterday, oh my gosh. I was like just sitting there showing my garden and my chickens were out and I had my Great Pyrenees. She was like tied up because we're training her with our chickens. And the osprey was flying over and then my chickens were out and I was like, oh, okay, it's going away. It spotted my chickens and was on top of my roof trying to like flying down. And I don't know if everybody could see me or not, but I would like set my camera down or my phone down and I was running trying to grab my chickens, get them back inside the coop on alive, people. I didn't have time to injure or nothing because it was like trying to eat my chickens. And it's like you can't like you can't hurt. They're all protected. Bald eagles, osprey, any type of hawk and falcon, they're all protected in the United States, so you can't do anything. And I was like, what happens if the dang thing attacks me? Am I allowed to defend myself? And they said, well, yeah, if you're defending yourself, you can bat at them, but that's about it. But I've had them like, but if they like kill your chickens or your pets, you're not allowed to defend your pets, which I think is a little ridiculous. Or small children, because when we were at the Metro Park, or well, not Metro Park, but like one of our town's park, it's real open, and we have these trees that are like 150 years old. There was a bald eagle, which they were able to coax the eagles to move down a little bit. They were swooping down at children playing in the playground, like trying to take babies. Have you seen how big a bald eagle is? They're huge. Huge. Like, I mean, I'm only 5'1", but still, like, when they're just standing, I think they're like, what, 45 inches tall, like, from their feet to the top of their head. They're huge. Like, they have gone after my little, and she's not, I mean, she's a small dog, but she's not, like, Chihuahua size. She's I think a long-haired Jack Russell Terrier, Chihuahua, something Terrier mix. So she's, like, 16, 17 pounds, so not really like a and she's not like chubby, she's like very on point. Has tried to get her. I've had them like fly down at my kids, and I was like, what do I do? And someone's like, spray a hose at them, right? You just don't hit them in the face, like just spray it up in the air and they'll get out of the way. But we've had them. I've had my daughter almost got picked up by one when she was little. It was so insane. I was like, that dang eagle. And my other dog at the time, my daughter's 13 now, but she was like a year and a half, and we were playing in the backyard. My other dog, which was a German Shepherd mix with a Basenji, he didn't attack it, but he lunged at it because it kept swooping down at and I was grabbing my kid trying to go in the house, and it was swooping down at us. It was literally like, I'm going to eat your child. I was like, what the heck? See, now it's starting to try to, now that all the sugar is completely melted into this jam, just making sure it's not sticking or burning. I turn that down. Nova, it's just my little decoration. Stop barking at it. My goodness. She's so dangerous. Her growls. I wonder if that's why they call him the polar bear dog. They look like a polar bear, but they kind of sound like it too. And she does like the nose move, like her nose wiggles a lot, like the bear. And she does a lot of sniffy sounds. Lily, put Nova outside, please. See if she wants to go outside. Nova, go get the school. Nova, I think there's a bird. Go get the bird. Get the birds off my berries. Not that she eats any of them. She'll just run and chase them. All right, there. So this is a talking cup, but we see how it's nice and clear now. And then pretty much all you do is you can squish it down a little bit, depending on how big of chunks that you want in your jam. So this is, like I said, this is blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. Yep. I thought you let her outside, Lily. Nova, go get the squirrel. Squirrel! Rabbits! I'm just tricking my dog. She's just going to continue. I have a statue of a rabbit in my fireplace. And she just barks at it. Any type of figurine you have in your house, a dog. Okay. Now, I'm going to get a spoon, blow on it, test it. See, I'm dirtying all these dishes. I did this with the salsa too because I won't use the same stuff. I am going to blow on this because I do not want to burn myself. At least my eyes are not as red or swollen after it was when I was cutting the onions. That's nice. And the lemon juice gives it a little bit of tartness, but with the sugar, so good. And you guys don't need to sit in here for the rest of it because it's got to sit out until this evening when it's cooled. And then I will put it into the fridge. Not into this pan, of course. I'm going to put it into another jar, but it has to fully cool down. But that's pretty much, that's it. You just mix it slowly with the sugar. And if you want it more sweet than what I did, like I said, I did like 1/3 of what you would do for regular jams. It's just no preservatives, none of that crud, and you have like the best jam you'll probably ever have. And like I said, you won't have to use as much sugar. You can add more if you want. It's just like a tablespoon of lemon juice, and I do a little under 2 cups of sugar per 3 pints of berries. I usually use frozen berries. Sometimes I mix in like fresh berries too. But yeah, that's it. And then you let it cool, and when it cools, it will thicken on its own. I'm gonna let it cool a little bit more, and then I'm gonna squish it down. And then I will put it into a new jar. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It will rise too as it thickens, by the way. Because right now it's liquid form, but it will get bigger. Especially with blueberries. Because the blueberries have a natural thickener in them on their own. So I just made this about a week and a half ago. And like I said, my kids will request this for lunch at school versus school lunches and stuff. And they have some pretty good school lunches, but they love it. And they like putting it on just plain bread and having it like as dessert. They like it better than any store-bought jam we've had or jelly. So it is a constant request. And the salsa. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for hanging out. And sorry, I look all weird. Just the onions got to me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this works. And then once I'm done with this, I'll put in the comments, or in the description, I'll link the recipe that I used both for the salsa as well as my jam. All right. See you guys later. Bye. Wait, where's the end button?